It's daytime with Aston Avery. Now, Stephen Smith joins me, and joining us right now is Marieanne Nanson, who's a partner at IBM in the Middle East, and her business advice is sought after all over the world. When she is not jetting around the globe, Marieanne sets up events such as Women in Business and mentors others trying to achieve their goals. So, hello, Marieanne.
Yeah. Aston. Hi, Stephen. Great
How
to be
are
with you
you?
today. I'm very good, thank you.
Hi. Yeah, hi, Marieanne. So, that being said there, Dubai, how's the weather there?
Well, as you can see, sunny. It's always sunny in Dubai, although it did rain last week. Once a year it rains.
I heard it rained last year, which was a big surprise. You're looking fabulous, I have to say.
Thank you, darling. So are you.
So, sorry to stereotype, but it seems that women in the Middle East, they are portrayed as either in head-to-toe burqa walking around their husband, or the other extreme, a contestant from Love Island making millions on social media. So what's it really like for women, especially business women in Dubai there now, Marieanne?
Well, Dubai's a very cosmopolitan place. And I think that there's maybe a stereotype of the Middle East that's got some elements of truth in it that's maybe in certain newspapers around the UK. I think if you came to Dubai, people are normally a bit surprised pleasantly that it's a much more cosmopolitan place. That said, they do still have very traditional roles for men and women. So if you're a local, then maybe it's not as open as if you're an immigrant like myself. But even Saudi Arabia, I think, has recognized that, holding women down doesn't do anything to expand or improve your economy. And the one thing the Middle East does do very well is it changes fast. So if they see something's not working, they do address it. So I'm hoping the signs are good. Things will get better. For me personally, it pretty much is the same as working in London in terms of the environment, with obviously a bit of a Middle East twist. So.
Cool. Now, Aston, I've got to just tell you, I've been dying to get Marieanne on the show for a couple of years. Her story's incredible, and she's worthy of a book. Now,
I'm sure about that.
Yeah, it is worth a book. Now,
situation comedy, man.
Let's not sugarcoat things.
Yeah.
Back when you were 16, 17, you were expecting your first child, living in Widnes up north. Not exactly what you would describe going to be the winner of the year out there. How did you change your life around from a 17-year-old single mother living in the north to being an international businesswoman jetting across the world advising people?
Well, I think there's most of the people who did well at school don't always do well in life, do they? Sometimes if you if you have to have a struggle, if things aren't that easy for you, the thing it does do is it gives you a skill set that's actually better suited to being an adult, because when you're an adult, it's not fair. When you're a child, people try to pretend things are fair. So, the minute you're thrown into the big wide world and you have to fight for yourself a bit, I think that maybe actually can be an advantage in some respects. That, and of course, my mum and dad helped me out a lot. They looked after Sam while I went to university. My dad's big dream was that his children would go to university because he'd left school at 12. So he was like, no, you go to university and I'll look after the baby, which was, quite unheard of if you go back nearly 40 years. And I got a grant, which I'm a big advocate for grants, proper grants, not loans, because I don't think I would have been able to go if I hadn't. So, with some help, basically.
Having a good network around you is always a good thing, isn't it? But it's still an amazing story. It's not easy, is it?
Now, that being so, Marieanne, as well, did you come across any prejudiced behaviour as a woman on your way up in the business world here?
Well, I think you do, don't you? You come across conscious and subconscious prejudice, and to be honest, some of the conscious prejudices are easier to deal with. If someone calls you love or tries to touch you inappropriately, or tells you there, never mind, go home and tell your husband about it, or, you know, or makes threats. All of these things happen to women in business. That's kind of easier to deal with than, you know, you go for a job and you don't get picked, and you don't really know why you didn't get picked.
Yeah.
And I remember I was working for KPMG and they wanted more women in consulting. And they said to me, you know, we just never see any candidates. So that kind of in their minds was, we're trying, but nobody's actually applying. So, you know, you just don't have the skills there. So I went and talked to the recruitment agents, and they said, well, we weed all the people out who don't fit into the mold, who haven't been to the certain schools, who aren't guys, because you never pick them. And we want you to work with us and, you know, take the people that we put in front of you, so you don't see those candidates.
Yeah.
And so that kind of subconscious bias of weeding people out, not giving them a chance, I think that's probably the most difficult thing to deal with, because then you're, you know, you can deal with what you can see in front of you. It's difficult to deal with, you know, the less obvious.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think women? I mean, I've come across some cases where women aren't kind to each other and don't promote each other. Have you come across this yourself, or?
Yeah, but I think, do you know what? Thank God, I think that's our generation, and maybe not Aston's generation.
34.
Wow, I mean,
we left university 5 years ago, darling. Yeah, I think things have shifted, and still not perfect, because I remember I worked in London in one leadership team that was 50-50 men and women, and it was a good mix. It was like a London mix, you know, like you'd expect. And life was so much easier for the women and the men in that scenario, because I think sometimes when it's all guys, it becomes quite pack-like, and when there's only one or two women, they tend to become like the guys to be accepted. And in that scenario where there's only one or two, then, you know, maybe they're not the kindest women, and maybe they don't really help other people. So.
Yeah, we were just talking about how women are portrayed. I mean, back in the 80s, as you were Alexis Colby, firing everyone and being a bitch.
Yeah. I got my big shoulders on today.
or we were saying that the Devil Wears Prada, which is terribly amusing to watch on the big screen. Yeah. In reality, it isn't so kind. So women aren't really portrayed by the media still now, when the word boss comes on, as being terribly kind.
Indeed. That being said here, Marieanne, as well, as they say in schools, but it's men, not just women, that can be pushed toward traditional gender jobs, they say. So, for example, schoolgirl, boy dreaming of being a high-flying business person. So, for our listeners, how do you go about it?
Well, I guess there's some things you just have to do that you don't get a go at it unless you've got them. Things like, you know, a degree. So working hard at school is a given. You might be able to just set up your own business, but it's easier to work for a big firm, learn some things from them, and then go on and set up your own business, because you know how it works. If you like, there's less for you to learn. And then the things that really separate people out, which I think is why the good education only gets you the interview, it doesn't get you the job, is it's things like resilience, it's things like problem solving, it's work ethic, it's being really passionate about what you do. If you love what you do, it kind of comes from you, and everybody else wants to be involved. And you get up in the morning and you don't mind getting up at 5:30, 6 o'clock, because you've got a day you're looking forward to. So I'd always say as well, don't do something just because you think you should. so even if you're the cleverest kid in the class, but you don't want to go to business school, don't go to business school, it's
of course. It was quite interesting. We've got Sarah Eden on, who runs one of the biggest dating agencies, and we're talking about, especially on television, you've got a TV series called Motherland, which is terribly entertaining. It's a group of mothers that go to, what they basically say is that there's a couple in business, they can't have it all. They can't balance the children. How have you gone about balancing your life? You've got 2 children, you've got, you wouldn't believe it, grandchildren, and you've got a dog, a cat, everything. How have you managed to balance everything?
Oh, do you know what? I think we should stop asking women this question. How do you balance everything? You never ask a guy that. Look at all the complex jobs guys do. Nobody asks them. It kind of says that your family is your responsibility and your job's your personal pastime. And the truth is that everyone's actually just trying to survive. They're just trying to do the best for the people they love, to not get fired and to go on holiday,
Marieanne, the most popular TV series in Britain at the moment is Motherland. And it is exactly that. How do these women balance being a mother and a career? And did you watch that, Aston?
I don't think I have yet, because I don't get time to watch telly at the moment. So
the 2 women, the main business women, one can't work without the mother, her mother helping her, and the other one goes out and does cocaine because she can't cope on a night out, and that's how they're portrayed still.
Is it written by a man, just out of interest?
I don't know whether I did. I must double check that. It was just so interesting it came up. The other thing to ask is, we were talking earlier, I guess, about again, women in business are portrayed of not being able to find romance because they're earning more money than the man. And we've got Sarah coming on in a minute. How have you found? Your love life's been affected by being a powerful businesswoman?
Well, you know that my love life is yes. The only advice I could give on the what not to do, because I'm like sat on 2 divorces, so I'm not going to say that I was the best at that. I think it's like anything in life, you have to put your time and your effort into it, don't you? And you talk about balance, and the true loves of my life are my children, my grandchildren, my pets, my family, my friends, and I could honestly say I've probably not put enough effort into it, or I've not met the right guy. Maybe your friend can have some advice for me.
Sarah's listening in. I understand.
So Marieanne, on that front there, as Stephen's mentioned, we've got Karen Mooney on from the Sarah Eden dating agency there, but Stephen's mentioned about true love. So relaxation here, how do you actually relax?
Well, I'd like to keep active, so like things like hiking, yoga, jogging, running around the beach with the dog, because I quite fortunately live on a beach. I like drinking wine, chatting to friends, going to the theatre, although going to the theatre, there's not that much in Dubai, much better in London. Just normal, really normal. But I think you have to take your time, don't you? You have to make sure that you don't forget to do that, because it's easy to just work. It's very easy to just work.
So, and that front as well here, there, Marieanne, as well. Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time as far as business sense goes?
So I actually want to go back to university. I want to do a master's degree in economics and the environment. I've run energy practices in the past, and I think that environmental science has had the answers to how we should relive our lives for a long time. So I'd like to set up some indoor farming in the south of France. I'm looking for some land for that now. And I'm just about to open my first vegan cafe. So hopefully that'll be doing really well.
That's a big project. not only are you working full time, now you're going to have your own cafe doing vegan food. Vegan's become so popular. I really enjoy it. And Aston, you don't like vegan, do you?
No, I'm okay with it, but I'm not 100%. Not 100%, as they say, like fascinated. I'm not on the vegan diet myself, but I do speak to people that are vegan anyway. So
I keep sending Aston messages. He makes these amazing Sunday lunches full of meat. I send a message going #vegan.
I do say vegan alternatives to you, Stephen. So
listen, Marieanne, this is because it's women in business we're doing today. I know you have mentored other women and men. How would you go about finding someone to mentor you if you're a young woman starting out or man starting out to mentor you to the next level?
I think you should think about what you want to do. Think about who's the best at it that you know, and then just go and ask them. That, I remember when I joined KPMG and I wanted to be a partner there, and I was, I think, a manager. And I went and spoke to the chairman of KPMG and said, would he mentor me? Because I'd observed it was all about public school and it was all guys. And I was, worried that I'd get overlooked. So could he mentor me? And he actually said yes, to which everybody was really surprised that he would say yes. So I think you just have to, be a little bit brave and reach out to people, ask them. You'll be surprised, probably more people will say yes than no.
Marieanne, what would you say is your proudest moment in life so far?
So actually, when you said you might ask me this question, I was thinking about it, and I've got to say it's got nothing to do with work. It's actually when I see what good parents my own children have turned into, because they're much better than I was.
Oh,
so,
wonderful.
I see that, and that really just gets me there.
Well, Marieanne, I just have to say how proud I am of you, and it's so great to have you on the show, and we want you back on again. I still want to write that book.
Really enjoyed it, guys.
It's a great story, and thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on today, Marieanne. Hope to have you on again.
Thanks, Stephen.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Marieanne Nanson here on Gateway 97.8, and